Okay, so thank you for switching on to our presentation to Year 6 primary school pupils, parents and carers. So without further ado, let me do some introductions. Your progress leader in Year 7 is going to be Mrs Sarah Taylor. She has already met the pupils, and she did have another name, which was Miss Hopkins Weaver, but she's getting married over the summer, so she wanted to be introduced as Mrs Sarah Taylor to avoid confusion in Year 7. She teaches science as well as being a progress leader, and she is familiar with a lot of parents, as she has just finished her time as a Year 11 progress leader. And then you've got myself. I've taught at the school for an awful lot of years, and I'm probably well known to parents and possibly grandparents. And I'm the senior leader with the responsibility of Year 7 and Year 8 this year. And as you can see here, this is a photo of our Year 11 leavers. And it's really timely that Miss Hopkins Weaver is becoming the Year 7 progress leader, because this is a picture of her Year 11 form who have just left. In fact, we had a lovely day on transition day where Mrs Taylor was able to welcome the new our new intake, our new Year 7 pupils, but at the same time in the evening, she was able to say farewell to her pupils in their Year 11 prom. And it's always an honour and a privilege to see the development of the pupils over the 5 years that they are here, but also to welcome our new Year 7s so that they begin their journey with us at Maesteg. So I'm going to begin my presentation with school rule. Our school rule is all about respect. Our ethos, our fundamental vision is all about respect. We need to respect our teachers because our teachers are here to help all pupils learn. So we have to take advantage of that, and we have to listen. We have to respond to teachers in an appropriate way so that we can learn. We want you to be kind to other pupils. We want you to be respectful to other pupils, no matter if you're friends with them or if you've just met them. We want to show respect. We also work very hard at keeping our school grounds as pristine as we possibly can. So we do an awful lot of litter picking, but also inside the building. We try and keep that as clean and as tidy as possible, and making sure that our displays are the best they could possibly be. And deadlines, we always talk about deadlines, normally in respect to homework, but deadlines are equally as important if you need to hand something in. So if you need to hand a letter in to play for the school rugby team, the school football team, or if you're going to the theatre with the school, if you don't bring your consent forms back, then sometimes, you know, we can't get hold of parents and we can't get you on those trips. So it's really important that you respect your deadlines. Our uniform has changed, and we introduced the blazer last year. And what we found that this blazer gives the pupils a respect for their uniform, for the difference it is between going to come into school and then also to going home. And we noticed a real change in the way the pupils conducted themselves around the school. And they looked very smart, but we felt that respecting the uniform, wearing what we would like you to wear is really important, because that's saying an awful lot about your attitude to school. And above all, respect yourself. Be the best possible version of you can be every day. People get it wrong, okay? And we are one family. We're a 1 year group family of 210 pupils. Some of us are going to make mistakes. What's important is we put the mistakes we correct the mistakes, and then we make sure that we don't make the same repeated mistakes, but always aim to be the best possible version of you that you can. Because we want you to learn. And as you can see from our acronym here, we are suggesting that mobiles be left at home, okay? However, we know that phones are a necessary evil, and you need to know where your child is, and your child needs to know needs to be able to contact you to tell you if they're going to stay home from school. What we ask is that the mobiles come to school, they stay in their bags. If we see the mobiles, we make no apology for taking the mobiles off the pupils and keeping them in our heads of house with our pastoral support team until the end of the day. Why? Because they're a barrier for learning. They are so they distract the pupils so much. And we also know that there has been a huge increase since the introduction of mobile phones. There has been a huge increase in cyberbullying. And that bullying means that bullying doesn't stop at the school gates. In addition, pupils shouldn't be accessing any kind of social media at the moment because they're too young, and 13 is the age where legally they are allowed to access such socials such as TikTok, Facebook, WhatsApp, Snapchat. But we have seen terrible messages being passed between children, messages that would never be said face to face. So that is another reason why we are really, really keen to make sure that mobile phones are not a distraction to learning and are not being used as a weapon of cyberbullying. We won't put up with it. You need to have all the necessary equipment, and I'll explain a little bit about that further on in the presentation. Punctuality is absolutely vital. We start school at 20 to 9. Therefore, you need to be in school before 20 to 9. 20 to 9 is the start of our form time, not 10 to 9, not quarter to 9, not 9 o'clock. Okay, so you need to be here by 8:30 so that you are punctual. Being punctual is a life skill. If you turn up to work late when you're older, your employers are not going to be very happy, and it could result in you being sacked from that place of employment. So if we can get into good habits as youngsters, that will stand us in good stead for when we get older. Respect all staff, pupils, and your learning environment. I've just mentioned that. And now we want you to work hard and strive to do your best. Our school logo is motivated to strive. Motivated means you are enthusiastic and you can get yourself to learn and work hard no matter what the situation. So our school uniform, as I said, has changed. The blazer is compulsory. You can get the blazer from the front row. You can get it from Gwyn's. But you can also get it from online supermarkets such as Asda. You can get them from Marks and Spencer's. You don't have to have the blazer does not have to have the logo attached. We have got badges in school that we will sell to you and put on the uniform should you require it. The V-neck sweater or cardigan is optional, and it's recommended that you have one for under the blazer during the winter months. Again, this doesn't have to have a logo on, but if you want to get ones with the logos on, they are available in Gwyn's. There's white shirt, the school tie. Please do not buy the school tie before you come up to school. We will sell the school ties in September. You will notice that the school tie has a diamond. The diamond represents the house, as in the house system. So we will sell those the first week back. Don't send any money in. We will make sure that the letter comes home and you know the best way to pay. Black skirt or tailored trousers. Please be reminded that leggings and joggers are not part of our uniform, and we contact parents to bring the right trousers up, because very often children will come to school not in what's been put out for them, but in what they want to wear. They are not used. If in any doubt about the uniform, please ring the pastoral office or email your child's tutor for a full explanation of what we expect the pupils to wear. It doesn't change. And then we've got all black trainers or low-heeled shoes. We introduced the trainers a number of years ago because we felt we wanted to save parents the cost of buying shoes and trainers. They need to be all black with no logo showing. Okay, don't be conned by your children later on the year who will tell you that Converse are part of our school uniform. They're not even particularly good for sport because there's not much support in them. So if there's any problem, please ring or email your tutor. We've also got our PE uniform, and our PE uniform is the training top, as you can see the two pupils wearing there. Again, it can be a black top. We'd recommend the training top material because they're easy to dry, but you don't have to have the logo. And you can wear shorts, leggings, tracksuit bottoms and trainers. And you can, if you wanted to buy the mid-layer top, that's entirely up to you. The mid-layer top is being phased out. And I believe once the stock is gone from the two uniform providers in town, so Gwyn's in the front row, they will not be buying any additional mid-layer tops. So the mid-layer tops are the ones that have the zip. So I did say about school equipment. So you need a school bag, which is big enough for A4 files, gym kit, dry lunch, if needed. Now you will come across two little friends, nobody and everybody. And you will be told that nobody brings a bag to school. That's wrong. And everybody brings a bag to school. But we do have lockers, okay? And the lockers will take a bag, they will take a coat, and anything really that you don't want to carry around from lesson to lesson in school. We would like you to have a pencil case if you can get one, and we would like to have pupils to have pens, a ruler, an eraser, drawing pencils or colouring pencils, normal pencils. If you can have highlighters, because we do use a lot of highlighters. And not in the pencil case is the Chromebook. The Chromebook is a mini laptop. We call it our electronic encyclopedia, which is portable. We use them all the time. You will receive a Chromebook and you will receive a charger. The pupils can charge their Chromebooks in school. In fact, they regularly do, because if they're using them for 4 hours, the charge inevitably goes too low to use. But these need to be in school. I teach Spanish and I use them all the time. There is a function on them called Chromebook, and that has several useful functions that I like to use to teach Spanish. So they are used all the time. Again, if you said nobody brings, if you're told, sorry, that nobody brings their Chromebooks, they do. So we've got a three-part school day now. It's not that the school day is long, but there's a lot to say in it. So first of all, we operate a 2-week timetable. In September, we start on week 1, and then we alternate between week 1 and week 2 until we come to a holiday. Then, whatever week we end on, we will start on the next week. So if we finish on a week 1, we would start on a week 2. If we start on a week 2, we would start. If we finish on a week 2, we will start on a week 1. And if you have a look at the timetable there, you can see on the top, one Monday, one Tuesday, one Wednesday, one Thursday, one Friday, and on the other side, 2 Monday, 2 Tuesday, 2 Wednesday, 2 Thursday, 2 Friday. That illustrates week 1 and week 2. Why do we have a 2-week timetable? Well, we need to try and we need to make sure that we have the breadth of lessons on our curriculum. So we use the full 50 hours, the full 50 hours of the 2 weeks to ensure that we cover the whole of the curriculum. So this looks quite a scary thing, okay? And when people came to the presentation, it was really hard to see on the screen. But if you go to one Monday 1, you will see the word humanities written. Underneath, you have got VJS. So all teachers and support staff in Maesteg School have a 3-letter initial. So VJS, I know, is Mr. Jones. You will get to know who the teachers are in due course. And then you can see HO1. So that means he's teaching in Humanities 1. If you have a little look at Tuesday 3, you will see the subject is games. You will see the 3-letter abbreviation for the teacher is ASR. Okay, which is Mrs. Scar, and you will see the room, which is CA3, which is Creative Arts 3. 2 Wednesday 3 is English. Underneath, you see the initials BJS, okay, which is Mrs. Jones, and she teaches in EO1. Okay, so make sure you check with your form tutor on the last week of term to remember what week you start back on. Your form tutors will help you with this. So as I said, we start at 8:40. That is the start of tutor time. So we need you here before 8:40. We are really proud of our tutor time because it's a full half hour, and not many schools in the Valley devote that amount of time. And we've done it quite deliberately so that our teachers develop a really close relationship with the pupils in their tutor group. Lots of activities take place. There are lots of notices. There are kit checks to make sure that you've got everything in school. There are notices. We go through the menu for the day, the lessons for the day, and we also have a program of activities. So we have well-being check-ins, we have competitions, we have tournaments for the pupils, and we also look at how we can develop as the best possible version of ourselves we can be during that time. So then you can see then lessons are around about the 55-minute mark, and we get to break. Then we have a break of 20 minutes from 11 to 11:20. We have lesson 3, and then we have lunch, followed by lesson 4 and then lesson 5. So our school day finishes at 2:50, but we do have a power hour. We have lots of clubs. Okay, we have academic clubs such as homework club, cultural and sporting clubs. So we've got lots of different sporting clubs like the rugby club, the hockey club, the football club. But we also have well-being clubs. So you can see one of our pupils there is actually doing some crocheting. We have a Dungeons and Dragons group. We also have a comedy club. So there's lots and lots going on. It's also an opportunity where you can complete homework because our homework club takes place in one of our IT rooms. At the end of the afternoon finishes at 3:50. We do provide a bus free of charge, which will drop pupils up and down the valley at the nearest bus stop to where they live. But it must be said that the pupils have to attend a club in order to be able to catch the bus at the end of the day. So getting around school, when we were doing the guided tours, we made sure that the children paid attention to the actual numbers and the letters outside the rooms, because this is an indication as to where the faculties are. So essentially we've got 3 floors, a ground floor, a first floor and a second floor. So on the ground floor, we have the whole of technology. That's where the technology workshops are, the catering rooms are, but we've also got creative or expressive arts. So that means we've got art, textiles, music, drama, all on the ground floor. And we've also got our sports hall and gyms. If you go up to the middle floor or the first floor, this is where the pastoral offices are, close to the library. And then it's Maths, English and Languages. And we've also got 2 IT suites, which are known as DC, the Digital Competency Suites. If you go up then to our second floor, so our top floor, it's Humanities and Science. And again, we have got a couple of rooms up there that are dedicated to IT or digital competency. So what to do at lunchtime? So we have 35 minutes at lunch. We share our lunch break with year 7. So on a week, so we share our lunch break with year 8s. So on a typical week 1, the year 7s will go in first for lunch, and then they go in second for lunch on week 2. There's loads of choice. There's always a cooked dinner. We have jacket potatoes. We have sandwiches, which are hot and cold. We've got pizza, fruit, yogurt. There's always water, and we have fruit juice normally during the morning. And we've also got the shack, which has noodle dishes such as ramen. It also has the nanwich, which is pulled pork in a naan. And we have a salad bar, and the salad bar looks like the salad bar in Pizza Hut, but on steroids. There is so much choice. And I think the children will agree with me that when they came up for transition day, there was plenty of choice for everybody. There is a breakfast club open to all pupils from 8 a.m. and that serves tea, toast and porridge. At break time, you can have toasties as well as cold drinks, i.e. water. And as after the children will finish their lunch, they will go outside, and we use the big yard at lunchtime so that there's a lot of room for them to run around and let off steam. So I've got a sample menu here for you with prices. So you've got a tomato and cheese toastie is 40p, and you can see the curries that we have on offer on this particular day. The curries are also served with rice, vegetables, mint, yogurt, mango chutney and naan. You can have pasta with or without meatballs, and you can have our grab and go section, which is baguettes. These are hot baguettes. And you would have a pizza in there. There's also, as I said, jacket potatoes. Desserts retail around 50p. And the shack then is the naan, which I just described as £2. It's really important that pupils realise every time they buy something, it deducts off the amount they have on their account. So if you can sort of, over the summer, just practice takeaways, because here, as I'm sure you're used to, we operate a cashless catering system. So on the first day, we take a photo of the pupil's thumbs, and that means then there's an account being created. They put their thumb on the machine, and the machine comes up with their name, and it tells us how much money they have in their account. So every time they buy something, they deduct from it. Okay. There's no cash in school. What we would recommend for the first couple of days, until you get your information through and your invitation to join Parent Pay, is that you send some money in with the children. So you can use good old-fashioned £5 notes and coins. The machines are located in the atrium, and if you have any problems with the machines working, then you will go and see one of our finance office staff. Okay, so Parent Pay is really useful because you can actually keep an eye on what your child is eating or not eating. That can be set up online. You can pay online, or you can use the PayPoint. The PayPoint places in local shops such as Philco and Premier. Okay. So tutor groups. Our tutor groups this year are quite large, and we've spent an awful lot of time. I think we've spent almost, I don't know, about 20-25 hours making sure these class lists and tutor groups are right. We work very closely with the primary schools to ensure that we have at least a person from your school in the group that you're in. Because of the size of the Year 7 groups, we're trying to get this right before we start in September, because we do not envisage making movements in September because we cannot take the classes over 30. And they will be taught in tutor groups for the whole year, and their lessons then are divided into the areas of learning and experience. I'll come on to that in a minute. So we've said that tutor time lasts for 30 minutes a day. The other thing that they will have during tutor time is a weekly assembly with the progress leader, which is Mrs Taylor or myself. So what can you expect to learn? So we teach 6 learning dispositions throughout Year 7 and Year 8. So in Year 7, we teach curiosity, pride and compassion through the areas of learning such as the expressive arts, health and well-being, humanities, languages, literacy and communication, mathematics and numeracy, and science and technology. The principles of the new curriculum guide our teaching and learning as we guide our pupils to the 4 purposes of the curriculum, so that they are ambitious and capable, enterprise and creative, ethical, informed, healthy and competent individuals. A couple of years ago, when we embarked on our journey with the new curriculum for Wales, we worked very closely with pupils and with parents and governors to ensure our vision reflected the thoughts of everybody. So our curriculum is based on the principles of empowerment, equity and aspiration. We want our young people to gain knowledge and skills to become ever more powerful thinkers and communicators, so that they become leaders in the community that they inhabit. We want our pupils to have the courage to challenge what they know is wrong, the kindness to respond to others, the resourcefulness to always seek out answers, and the character to lead a fruitful and rewarding life. Our curriculum is knowledge-based and it's pupil-centred, and it allows our children to experience each day a school which strives to transform them into agents of change and to always be motivated to strive. Agents of change and powerful thinkers and communicators. That is our mission. So alongside what you learn in class, there's always homework. And homework is set on teams. It is set via assignments. And there is an explanation of the homework, and there will be links then to support in terms of resources. There's also a due date, and the teacher then can see what has been handed in and what hasn't been handed in. But homework is set. We believe that homework is integral to learning because it gives an opportunity for the pupil to work on tasks originally started in class, and for the teacher then to be able to see if learning has taken place in the class, and if the pupil can adapt what they've learned in class to a new scenario outside of the classroom. Homework has a deadline. Do your best to adhere to that deadline, and if there is a problem, see the teacher beforehand to explain there's been a problem in your homework. Again, if you wanted to stay to do your homework when teachers are here so that you could check, you can stay and do homework in our after school clubs then from 10 to 3 until 10 to 4. So what to expect on the first day. So what we would like you to do is arrive around 8:30, which is well ahead of when our whistles go. Most people now will be either walking or being dropped off in the drop-off point, which is at the bottom of the school steps. And then we like to give everybody a good 5-burner so that they walk up the steps into the yard. So they walk across the yard to the Year 7 section of the main yard. You know that because there's a green building right in the middle of it. So come over. All the tutors will be out that morning, and we will escort all the pupils to the sports hall. We will it'll be a very, very similar setup to the one that we had on transition day. We will welcome you all in the sports hall. And then what we will do then is we will have your tutors to call your names out and then to take you to your tutor rooms. Okay. And what you'll do then is you'll spend some time with your tutor, getting to know them, doing some activities such as icebreakers. And then you will have break, and then you will go off, and then you will do lesson 3. There are a number of things that we might have to do on the first day back, such as making sure we've got your thumbs sorted. And also we would like you to log into our internet in school so that you will be able to use your Chromebook using your own wireless connections in the house. But apart from that, then is a normal school day. I cannot apologise for including this slide, Miss School, Miss Out. Everybody knows that there is a national drive, both at Welsh Government level and UK Government level, to improve our attendance of our school pupils. If you got 90% in a test, you would be really pleased. However, if you get 90% attendance, we would be really concerned that you are not attending enough. If you're not attending enough, you're not learning enough. If you're not attending enough, you're not making friends. If you're not making friends, you're not settling. And the more time you take off school, the harder the task is to come back. And if you have a look there, it says research shows that missing out on just 17 days of school, that's over the 5 years, will cause a drop in a grade across all subjects at GCSE level. The higher your school attendance rate, the higher you will achieve. The more opportunities you will be able to participate in, the more activities you will be able to participate in. We need you in school. So obviously, when you come to join a secondary school or a new school, there is inevitably a little bit of nervous anticipation. It's been great at the moment. We've had a transition day, but it's only a day, it's only a couple of hours. We've had guided tours around the school, but they've been with your primary school friends. So you can expect to feel a little bit anxious, probably mingled with a little bit of excitement. But if you're unhappy, you need to tell a responsible adult. And that responsible adult could be a parent, it could be a tutor, it could be Mrs. Taylor, it could be Mrs. Hill, it could be anybody that you felt comfortable sharing that you were not quite feeling as happy as you should be. We are here to help. Sometimes a problem to you, to a young person, to a pupil, might feel completely insurmountable. Might feel like Mount Everest has just descended midweek and you feel that you can't go on. This is easy sometimes. This can be a very easy fix. Sometimes it'll take a little bit of work, but we can fix it. The important thing is, if we do not know about it, we cannot fix it. So make sure you tell somebody that you are not happy, and we will do our best to make sure you are feeling like your old self as soon as we can. School transport. There are very few pupils who will be eligible for school transport from September. The BCBC introduced the new homeschool transport system in 2020. This has nothing to do with us. We have campaigned tirelessly on your behalf to ensure school transport wasn't phased out. If there are any issues regarding school transport, please ring the number that you can see on the screen now. So that's 642-653, and speak to the transport team about your concerns, your worries, and to see if you are entitled to any form of school transport. So most of our students now walk to school. They can bring their own bicycles. They can be kept in our bike sheds, but you do need to have a lock. People bring scooters as well. As long as you've got a lock to ensure they are safe, that's fine by us. They are not allowed to be used in the school, on the school campus. So what we advise all our pupils to do is to walk the bike or the scooter to the silver gates at the bottom of the entrance, which is by the caretaker's cottage. And as soon as they pass the big silver gates, they can use their bikes or scooters. If you are bringing your child to school by car, I would advise that either you drop them off in Asda and they walk up through South Parade up the path to the school gates, which we would consider a safe route to school, or you use the drop-off point located at the bottom of the school steps. Please note that the car park at the top of the hill by the caretaker's cottage isn't considered a safe route to school, and we would advise you not to drop pupils off there. So we have various ways that you can get in touch with us. We do have a designated email which is transition@maestegschool.co.uk. If you have any concerns, you can use that, but you can also ring the school. Fair warning though, our switchboard does get quite busy. You can also follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and YouTube, which has a lovely collection of videos that we have taken as a school to show everybody the kinds of activities that we get up to up here. So we have some important dates for you. Unfortunately, we can't share them at the moment, but we are finalising arrangements for September, and we will contact you with details, with a final letter to you before the end of term. And we will be using our transition email, and we will be using the emails that you submitted on the pupil application to Children's Services in Bridgend. We will also be sending this to primary schools so that they can send them out on their social media to you as well. Many thanks for listening, I hope you found the PowerPoint informative, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us on transition@maestegschool.co.uk. Thank you very much.